It's 2 minutes past. Let's get started. Good evening, everybody.
Good
evening.
We're going to look at, in this Lightroom short, we're going to look at keywording, which we have addressed in the past, but it's always a common question I get asked a lot about keywording. Did I say renaming? I meant keywording. So we're going to look at classic, standard keywording, what keywording is, and hierarchical, and how we can use that to speed up our workflow. One caveat: keywording between Lightroom and Classic does not sync, or from Lightroom to Classic does not sync. And the reason why that is because Lightroom does not support hierarchical keywording, and I will show you what hierarchical keywording is if you don't know what that is. So without any further ado, has anyone got any questions about that? No? Let's share screen. This is my training catalogue, as regulars will know. I have 813 images in here. Some of them are stock images that I have a license to use. Some of them are my legacy raw files and multitude of images. For this evening I have deleted all my keywords, so I have no keywords to any of these images, and if I expand top right hand corner keyword list, there's nothing in there. So what is a keyword? Does anyone want to add to that? What is a keyword?
Way of identifying a picture.
Yeah. Anyone else?
A tag to the picture.
Yeah, tag. Yeah. So, David, were you going to say something?
I was going to say an identifier, which is what Joe basically said.
Yeah. So it's something. It's a tag, which is one terminology that you can call it, but it's a word that you would use to attach to an image that you can search on. So, for example, this image here, you could put a keyword of camera, lens, hand. It's got a flash on this one by the looks of it. You could put those keywords in there to identify the image, and that's basically what a keyword is. And there is no rules. You can make your own workflow for whatever you wish to do. So let's look at standard keywording to start with. All I'm going to do is open up the keyword with this image activated, and I can type in camera. And for this catalogue, I'm using the comma to separate the keywords. And a keyword can be more than one word. So we can use the word phrase. So I think this is a Canon camera. Okay, so I've got camera, comma, lens, comma, Canon camera, comma. So I have 3 key words, one of them being a phrase, and I have tagged this image with those keywords. Now, if I come down to keyword lists, it's added them into a list, just a whole long list of words, okay, or phrases, and they can be uppercase, they can be lowercase, whatever is convenient for you. So let's see, we've got another camera here, so I can type in the word camera, but camera is already in the list, so it will appear. So I just press return, and it's now applied the camera tag to that image. So I'm not replicating the keywords, I'm just using camera once. This one is Olympus, pressing that camera. I think it's a micro 2/3, and I press return, and I've now added those keywords to that image, and it's added them to the list. Now, one great thing on the right hand side of the keywords is you've got numbers, and those numbers are how many images have that keyword or phrase, if you want to call it a phrase if it's got two words, how many images it's got. And the top one, which is camera, has got 2. It's got a little arrow by the side. I click on the arrow, it brings up all those images with the keywords. It will change your filter, your library filter. So the first one is keywords, and you can adjust the next columns. So let's have a look at date. Well, no, there's no dates for these because these are stock images. But if there was other, like picked or rejected or location or any other metadata that I wanted to search on, this would filter through. So I would just use this as my primary find camera, and then I could change the filters, and I can have up to 6 columns. So at the top right hand corner, just underneath the padlock, there's a little plus or a little drop down, and you can add another column, and you can add up to 6 columns and change whatever you wish to do. So if this image was picked, I could change this to a flagged, and it would show me there's one flagged image, one unflagged image, and it would go left to right, look for the image that's keyword with camera and flagged or unflagged. So that's a really handy way of trying to find an image, and this is what keywords are. We're trying to find the image. Now another great thing with keywording is underneath the word keyword list, it's sometimes difficult to see because it's the same color. There's a little search bar, and if you've got, for example, the word sea in there several different times, or it could be coastline, or it could be beach or something, you can just search for it. So if I just type in camera, I've got it in there twice, and it would find my keyword for me, or key phrase if you want to use that phrase. So it's a very simple way of locating your keywords. Now what you can do is you can use your paint can, which is down in the toolbar down the bottom right hand corner, and we can spray on keywords. So we can go paint can, select keywords from the drop down, type in camera, it's already in my list, and now I can start spraying on the images that have got cameras in them. Okay, I can press tab to give me a bit more screen real estate, and I can just come through the images and find the ones that have got cameras in them. Just scroll through quickly. I think that's going to be most of them. There's another one. I'm just spraying on, I'm just clicking on the image. So there's my paint can. I click on the image and it gives you a little spray, and it says apply the keyword. There's another one there. There's one in that one. There's some in that one. This is our photo club. It's coming down. Okay, we'll leave it there. Okay, so if I now go back to put the can back in the dock, I've now put it back in the dock. I can come up to camera, and it's now got 12 keywords. Again, click on the little, it's actually got 15. And there's all my images with the word tag, keyword, camera. But I can also search for it a different way. So if I go to my images, let's just turn that off for a second. Now I'm going to go to text, and if I want to search for camera, I can actually search in any field, but I could search contains camera. So again, it does exactly the same thing as clicking on the list. I'm searching for the keyword of camera. And that's what keywords are for. Okay, we're quickly identifying them. Now, when it's really powerful is we can look in locations. So I could say, let's say 2021, looking, because I store my images, because an image to me is a moment in time. It can't be reproduced. So all my file naming is in moments of time in my main catalog, and all my images are stored in chronological order. So if I go to 2021, there's the dates of the images, the folders when they were taken. Okay, and I click on there. The keywords, these images were taken in 2021. I had 143 images in that main folder. These ones have got camera on them. If I change I've got none in 2022. I've got none in 2023, none in 2024. So they've got 2 in 2019. Okay, they've got the keyword because it's in the text. I've searched for keyword contains camera. So it's a very quick way of, I took this picture of such and such, and you can locate them. But you can do the same in collections. So if you had collections, which I use in my main workflow, collections, if I had a collection with cameras in them, I can just click on the collection, like here, and it would show me there isn't one with keywords of camera. So it's a very quick way of finding images if you're disciplined.
Nope.
Anyone questions about that? No?
Nope.
Okay. So that's the standard keywording, just one list of keywords. I'm going to show you what hierarchical keywording is, and then I'm going to show you the different types of keywording and a little bit of my workflow, if I may, to get you to think about how you may use keywording. Okay, so we have this keyword list here. Now, over years, and my catalog runs from version 1 of Lightroom, I have over 400,000 images in my work catalog. I have a 96 terabyte direct storage drive sitting here. My keyword list is really long, and I change my workflow as I learn, as I develop, as I change in my photography. So does my workflow. And what I found is hierarchical keywording works best for me. And what that is it's a drill down. That means you can have a title and a section underneath it of keywords. So let's give you an example. I'm just going to type the word photography, and I'm going to untick these boxes because this is going to be a title to a group of keywords, and I do not want them to export or to be contained on the image in any way. So there's photography there, and I'm now going to camera, that's a photography keyword. Canon camera, that's a photography, and all I'm doing is I'm changing the location of where these keywords are contained. So as you can see, I've got photography and a small little list, and I can close that list. So I could have another list if I so wish, and I'm going to undo them, and let's call these models. And I could put in there names of models. So Joan, and I'm going to put it inside model, but I'm going to tick it's a person. That's really important. Okay. But usually with people, I would attach them to an image. I wouldn't build them in here. Okay. And I'll show you why in a second. But I could go Kyla, and it's a person again, attached them there. So I'm building little smaller lists. And the reason why is it's easier for me to find a keyword. If I want to highlight the word photography, and let's say I might have 50 keywords in there, and I type camera, it's going to find them in the photography hierarchical structure. So hierarchical is just you're splitting a big long list into little lists. Now, and then it works normally as a normal keyword list. I would suggest, and I'm not telling you what to do, the title of a list, you visually make it slightly different. Why is that? Because it's not a keyword, because we've unticked these. It's a title to a list. So in my workflow, I capitalize the first letter. You could capitalize the whole word. Okay, so you can now see immediately, it's a visual stimulation. That is the title of this list of keywords. Because if you look, there's no number here. There's no keywords in there. And if you want to put the word photography in there, that's no problem. We can put the word photography, make sure it's included on export, and we can put that in there. And we've got the word photography in our photography list. Okay. So that's a hierarchical keyword structure. Okay. Now, the reason why it's got a little plus on this keyword is because we've got it active in the paint can tool. But I can take the paint can keyword, type the word photography, lowercase, make sure I choose the lowercase version, go and find some images, use the paint can, spray on them, and you can see we've got a plus, got 6 images with the word photography. And now I can use keywords to find these images. So this is where Lightroom will become very, very powerful. I'm going to turn this off, type in Canon. Oops. And photography, 2 different words, and they contain. Okay, so all these pictures contain the word photography and Canon. So it could be a location and a camera, or a location and a person. Okay, so it's really, really powerful. You can set up smart collections. So let me show you this with keywords. Okay, if I press plus, create a smart collection, photography, keyword, and we come down to other metadata. Keywords contains photography, and we can make this more complicated. You could put in more rules if you wanted to in a smart collection. So you could have picked, color label, date range type of camera. So there we go. We've got 15 images. If I click on that, if I turn my filters off, got 15 images with that keyword on there. And I could use the filter bar to go metadata, go date, and now I could filter them by date. So I can sit and go, right, these ones are taken in 2018. So it's got a keyword of photography, and they've got that date. So it's a real powerful way of finding your images. And there's one last thing with keywords. When you create, so we have all keywords, people keywords, and other keywords. Now, people keywords are really, really important. When we come to Face ID, which is here, this will identify people. Okay. And it will put them as people. So this is now a model, and we'll drag it in there. If I do this way, these won't identify unless I drag it onto there, and now it's identified as a person. Okay. If I create a keyword, which somebody here did, in a list, you need to drag that keyword onto the people. Now, if you've made a mistake, like I have here, you can just double click on it, and change it, and it'll update all the keywords. And I'm just dragging the keywords over. Simple as that. Okay, if here I type in Karen, okay, it's put it as a keyword, Face ID, but it's put it as a people. And I want to put it as a model into that list, that hierarchical list. It's identified them as people. So I double click, person, put it in the people list. Okay. So you need to point out to it software that you've identified as a person, and then it will Face ID it. And the powerful thing about Face ID, I go back to folders in keywording, it will start suggesting people. So in a little while, it will say, is this Joe? So it will start, the more information I give it, the more it will pick it up. And again, if I want to see those 4 images, just click there, and there's the pictures they're in.
So that's how you would deal if you've got pictures of people over 20 years and they've aged.
Yeah.
You can stack them all on top of each other.
Correct. Jay, and it's really powerful. It's really, really good at looking at the aging process.
Okay.
But the more you give it, the more correct it will be at the guesses of the faces.
Right.
So if you and it's not 10, you got to give it 100.
Right.
At 10, it will say, well, that person's got the same color hair and the same color eyes, same shape of face, and you go, but it's a bloke. So the first 10 or dozen, it'll guess. It's limited by its ingredients, but you start getting into 50, 70, 80, 100. Then it will start, and it will go, yes, that's right. And what you do in Face ID is you hold your Command or Control key down and go, that one, 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 that. Do the whole screen, even scroll down the screen, and you might have 100 clicked. One drag and drag it onto the person's name that you've already done. You've done them.
You mean in grid view?
Yeah, in grid view, yeah.
So you can then click all the different pictures in grid view for that person. I get it.
Yeah. We'll do that in a few weeks' time. We'll do Face ID in a few weeks' time, Jay.
Okay.
Right. So but you've got to tell it in grid view that it's a person. Yes, Callum.
Can you apply keywords at the time of import? So you say tag everything as a certain event, future reference?
Yeah. That's another thing I was going to show you in a second. I'll do it now. So when you hit the import button and you go off to your destination and find your images, over on the right-hand side, during import, you can type in your keywords and it'll reference the keyword list. So there's camera, and that's applying the keyword that's in your keyword list already. But you can add new keywords to the list. Okay, so you type in, I don't know, USA, UK. These will add them to the list, the keyword list. Let's see if I can find a quick picture. Let's just find a quick picture. Let's take that one. Let's just copy it. Let's So we've got camera, USA and UK. And I'm going to put it in there. It seems to be right. I'm just going to copy it. There we go. So there it goes, coming in. So I'll go to my catalog, previous imports there, turn that off. So there's the image I've imported. Show me all my keywords. And camera was already there. So it's now 16, it was 15. But I've got these two keywords here at the bottom. because I'm a hierarchical key structure, it hasn't put it in those titles. Okay, so I create a new title, places, and all I'm doing is I'm moving the location of the keyword where it's stored, not changing any of the pictures, and now I'm going to put it into that hierarchical structure. So now, rather than having one long list of all these keywords, I've got 3 smaller lists, and there they are there. So there's the image. I open it up. I've got camera, UK, and USA. Yes, Colin.
Can keywords exist in multiple lists?
Okay, so this where it comes into your workflow. For me, I identify a beach as a beach. If it's in Minehead is a separate keyword. So I've got Minehead, comma, beach. And if I'm going to search for Minehead Beach, I will ask it, does it contain, I'm looking for a list that contains Minehead and beach. And the reason why I do it like that is I found from experience, I had beach 37 times. So this is why, over years and years in using them, I've got a section called coastline. And anything to do with a beach, rocky, sandy, pebbles, causeway, waves, ocean, channel, that's all a part of a coastline. Beach, harbour, all that is in that hierarchical small list. So I can go click on it and there's the list. I've only got it in one place. Minehead or Port Perot or Pevensey or whatever, I can use those keywords for other things. So it might be Minehead Station. It might be Minehead High Street. So I'm using only Minehead once. So that's my workflow. I've done Minehead Beach, Minehead Coastline, Minehead Seafront, Minehead Esplanade, and my keywords. I had something like 2,000 keywords. So I sat and go, there must be a better way for me to understand how to keyword. So I have smaller little lists that are specific to the title narrative. Okay, and whatever that title narrative could be birds, it could be cycling, it could be steam railways, and you might have another one underneath steam railways, stations, and you might have another section under, because you can step as many times as you like. So you might have railways or heritage railways, and then you might have stations, and you list all the stations that you go and photograph, and then you might have locomotives, and you list all the names and the numbers of all the locomotives, and you put them in sections.
Helps if you have a career as a librarian beforehand.
Well, yeah, something like that. And being an academic, I'm a lot in the library, so you get to speak to the librarians and understand how they catalogue all the books, and it's a worldwide system across all libraries in the world, whether it's academic or public libraries. So yes, I had a little hand help with that, but yeah, so that's the way not saying it's the way you should do it, but that's the way I keyword. I've created little lists, and the title is capitalized at the beginning. So if it's photography, capital P, then I know that's a title, because if I didn't capitalize it and I wanted that word photography in my list, which one is the keyword? Capitalized could be the whole word or just the P is the title of the list, so I know it's the other keyword, all lowercase, and I put all people's names, I put all names of places, all lowercases. I know they're the keyword. That's my workflow. Okay, Jay.
I think I'm finally getting to understand this. Let's see if I have it correctly. When you have your negative, your file, your picture, the keywords are all flat in there, essentially. They're all just strung out.
Right.
What the hierarchical is not dealing with what's in the negative. It's dealing with how you organize the list within a Lightroom to organize that to click.
Yep.
So hierarchy it's flat when you enter them.
Yep.
But then you manipulate the list for your own way of organizing how you see things and so forth.
Yep.
Okay.
And the reason you'll find over time, sorry to interrupt you, over time, you will add new keywords to that shorter list.
Right.
And when you're looking at an image, oh, I didn't think of that keyword. You can add a new keyword to it. What is the keyword? The keyword is for you to find it, but it's also if your images are in the public domain, so other people can find them. So they can buy them in stock agencies.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So
okay. I think I finally got it. It's taken me a long time, but I think I finally got it.
Oh, 17 years, and I'm still learning every day. There's a saying my father used to say: "Only a fool knows it all." And I am willing and able to accept that somebody knows something that I don't, and I'm willing to learn from them.
Right.
And am I doing it the right way? Am I doing, what am I doing right? What am I doing not necessarily wrong, but what could I do more productive? So, last bit, because we're overrunning there. Where do I get keywords from? How can I inspire myself for keywords? So I'm going to show you a little website. It's called imstocker.com. So imstocker.com, and you want keywording. So at the top here, keywording. They do other things and so on. It's totally free, this site. And you just type in a keyword. So let's type in steam train. And it will search lots of random sites for pictures of steam trains. And this will be Getty, Alamy, Adobe Stock. And if you click on the image, it will give you the keywords. So I've clicked on this one because I've just been here. This is Glen Phillip Viaduct. And I can see the keywords. These are all the keywords for it. And if I click on the keywords, I can generate a keyword list. It's down there. And you can copy those keywords. You can just click there, copy them, and you can paste them into Lightroom. There is an app that I've got, and we will look at it one Monday night, where I can take that and it will apply it to the hierarchical list, about $7 or something like that for the app. And it's one-time purchase, and it's brilliant. But I can take those keywords and now copy and paste them in the box, and it will paste them to that image. And then you can just sort out your hierarchical drag and them into the appropriate place. So I am Stocker. I'll put it in the chat for you before we get end. Let's in the chat. There you go. Okay, it's a totally free site. There's been lots of plugins over the years for keywords, and I've bought them keyword managers and so on, and you pay so much and they analyze your picture and so on. Well, what's happening nowadays with Adobe Stock and other agencies, they scan your image and they will give you suggested keywords and you click on them. So if you use Adobe Stock and you contribute towards it, they'll scan your image, they'll vet it. Is there any dust on it? Is it sharp, etc., and so on? And they will look at the content. They will tell you what the content is. They'll suggest the description and suggest keywords for you. So is keywords relevant? Well, yes, I think it is. Especially with whatever your opinion is on AI and organizations scanning your images.
Oh, I have a question.
So there we go.
This was a very good, interesting session. I have a problem.
Have you
that
found
I
it interesting?
scanned a
Any
lot of
questions?
negatives and I have a question.
Yeah.
This was a very good, interesting session. Perhaps I have a problem that I scanned a lot of negatives and old prints in the keyword, and so the date is way to solve that. Perhaps when I try to change the date, I have to give it a day and a month. 1996, and the keyword may be the best way to solve that. And I don't know the day because when I try to change the date, I have to give it a day and a month. I think I can't just say 1999, and I don't know the day or the month that the picture was taken.
It's down to your chosen workflow. You can, yes, put the date in the keyword and you've got a keyword search. So yes, you could do that if you so wished. You'll have to work out a workflow that is going to work for you. For me, I would change the date. Even if it was just the month and the year, I would have a workflow to say, right, because I've got all these scanned images, but my negatives are in sleeves and it's got the date written on them. So I don't have that problem. But what I would do is, if it was 1968 and it's autumn, so fall, so you're going to say, well, it's going to be roughly October. So I would have a rule of workflow. I think it's going to be October, so I'm going to put it as the 1st of October. And all those images, I'm going to select them all. And then, as I showed you a few weeks ago, change the date to 1969 10. Oh, sorry, no, it'd be 0110 because you're US, yeah, and it would change all the dates to that. So my suggestion would be try and estimate the date, and then set them all 01. Now, why would I set them all 01? And if you've got no idea what the month is, set it as whatever the year is, you think the year is 0101. Why? Because you will know immediately from the IPTC data, or EXIF data in this case, you will know exactly if it says 01, that there's a good chance it being a scanned negative. Yeah. Yes, you will take images on the 1st of the month. But you've got 30 other days, and immediately you see the date, you know it's a digital image. Unless it's a birthday and you know it's a specific birthday of a specific relative, etc., and so on. So I would still use the actual date changing functionality of the file, but I would have a workflow of, if you know what the month is, so the year and the month,
I think that
put that, but set it as 01.
I can do that.
And if you don't, but you just know the year, put it 0101, and that's your workflow.
I think that sounds reasonable.
Yeah,
I can do that. A fair number, I can guess the month, or the season, I can guess the season.
So have a workflow. Do it quarterly. If you can guess the season, so 0101. If it's beginning of the year, 0101 for you. If it's spring, you'd put the year 0104 for April. Yeah, and so on. So do it quarterly. But work out a workflow that you understand, that you know, that becomes second nature.
Muscle memory,
and this is the important thing about anything about a workflow in Lightroom, is working out what is instinct for you.
Muscle memory, get the muscle memory.
Exactly, muscle memory, And if you can work that out, that you don't have to think
the
about
keywords
it,
get
your
preserved if you
workflow will
export to JPEG.
the workflow will just zip up, straight away. Yes, Colin.
Do the keywords get preserved if you export to JPEG?
Yeah, there is a box that you can disregard them. So on the export functionality, down towards the bottom into metadata, you can remove keywords, you can remove location, you can remove the personal data, or you can leave it in the file. So yes, that's totally. And if you do your basic edits in develop module and your keywording in the library module, and you take it to Photoshop, that basic edits, and that metadata, IPTC or EXIF data, that will be taken to Photoshop or any other third-party app.
Right.
So if you do it before you take it out of Classic, it preserves it, and then when you hit save and it brings it back into Classic, it keeps all that data, so you're not having to do anything. And this is where the digital asset management and the sync functionality of Classic. So you took 15 images all within a few seconds, a bird flying through it, a racing car coming around the corner. You only need to edit one image. You only need to apply the headline, the title, the description to one image. And then you select that as your active image. You shift click the last image, press sync. Everything you did to the first image is now being synced to all those other images. And that's why we talked about it a week or so ago, the difference in a digital asset management, editing and sharing software, and a single application image. And I know you can do actions and record them in Photoshop, etc. and so on, but you can do your base edits, your colorization, your straightening, your dust removal, your exposure, your local adjustments, all those type of things you can do in Classic, and you can sync them in one button to 1,000 images. It takes a few seconds. And then if there's one particular thing that you want to do to one image, you can take that one image, or maybe 5 images that you want to show a client, or put in a gallery or an exhibition, or submit them to a competition at a photo club or something like that. You can take those 5 images that all those edits have been done to into Photoshop and do whatever you need to do. Okay. All right, guys. So there's nothing next week because I'm in Cornwall. So we're back on the 9th, and we'll be starting looking at developing and across all the user interfaces. And we'll do that for the autumn. And the week after that, which will be the 11th, Wednesday the 11th, so that's a week Wednesday, it's 2 weeks today, we're going to be looking at file renaming. I'm going to show you how to rename your files. You can do that in camera as well as in Lightroom. You can reset the file renaming, but also why should you rename your images? And yep. I'm in favor of renaming images. So to get you to think about what you want to do.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
So,
Thank you.
Monday Light crew, I'll see you on the 9th. Next Wednesday is the 11th.
Great.
Thank you very
Take
much.
care. Have a nice evening, everybody. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.